Alright everybody, welcome back to Ebbets Field for Game 7 of this 1951 NL replay. The Brooklyn Dodgers off to a very unimpressive start as they have opened the season 2-4. Boston Braves, on the other hand, stealing a game yesterday as they came back from a 6-0 deficit to defeat the Dodgers 9-8. Boston 4-4, Brooklyn 2-4. The Dodgers send out Preacher Rowe today. Hopefully he can stop the 3-game losing streak that the Dodgers are on. And without further ado, we are underway. As the first offering from Preacher Rowe is a 6-8. And Rowe opens the game out with a strikeout. Solid way to go if you're planning on ending a losing streak. As Rowe's second offering, this time to Sam Jethro, is a 2-10. Ball shot to the right side. Robinson over onto Hodges at first. A little bit about the actually played game. It was played on April 24th, 1951. The Braves take this one 7-4 behind a very strong pitching performance from the starter that they have today, Surkont. He went 9 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs, all of them were earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Preacher Rowe also turned in a mighty fine performance in a no decision. He went 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, both of them were earned, and he struck out 3. So hopefully the Preacher can have a better outcome and get the Dodgers off of this 3-game losing streak that they are on in our current replay. So with 2 outs in the top of the first, Earl Torgeson is up, and Torgeson is a 6-4. Earl Torgeson, 6-4 from Preacher. And it's a strikeout, so a solid 1-2-3 opening inning for Preacher Rowe. And the Dodger bats, hopefully hot from yesterday, stay that way, as Gene Hermansky will lead things off in the bottom half of the first inning. And the first offering from Surkont is a 4-4. And right away we've got an X chance. So Sam Jethro getting work early out there in center field as the 20-sided dice reads 19 and the others add up to 10. So Jethro has to run to make the play. Tough play, but he does get underneath it. So 1 away. That'll bring up Carl Furillo. Furillo, pretty decent start, hitting 280 through 25 at-bats here early in the season. And the offering on the way to Furillo is a 4-4. And Jethro again put to work out in center field. On the 20, it is an 11, and the 6-sided dice add up to 12 again. Jethro showing off his 3 range rating as he slides on over to make the play, and there's 2 away for Max Surkont and the Braves. And that'll bring up Duke Snider, who has struggled. He's under 200 through his first 26 at-bats here in the 51 replay. He's got a 1-7 offering on the way. And we've got a split chance. It is a 7. And Snider gives this one a ride deep to right. And actually, it just gets through. I thought it was rising there. Single through to the right side. And that is a 2-out single. And Jackie Robinson, 4 for 5 yesterday's game in a losing effort, with a chance to come through, a runner on first and 2 outs here in the first. Robinson gets a 6-6. And he skies this one to the right side of the infield, and it is caught by Torgeson, and that is how the first inning will end. So the Dodgers get a 2-out single, but nothing to come of it. And after 1, we are all squared away at 0. So the Braves will lead things off here in the second as Bob Elliott gets his first at-bat of the day. Elliott playing third base for the Braves this afternoon. And it is a 2-9 for Elliott. That ball skied to left. Hermansky moving over. And that's a routine flyout as Hermansky snaps it off and tosses it back into the infield. Sid Gordon will approach home plate as the Preacher delivers. A 4-6. And that ball smoked to right. Furillo, though, gets underneath it. Nice line drive swing, but right at a right fielder, Carl Furillo, and that's 2 quick outs for the Preacher as he'll take on Walker Cooper. Cooper hitting 111 through his first 18 at-bats, and he's got 1 home run, 4 RBIs. He's also walked 4 times and struck out twice. Preacher's delivery. It is a 2-3. And this ball hit to the right side, right at Hodges, who will field it, walk it on over to first, and another 1-2-3 inning for the Preacher as the Braves go down in order, and Brooklyn will give it another whirl on trying to get on the scoreboard first as Gil Hodges. He's hitting .333, but the big number, 3 home runs through his first 6 games. The pitch on the way to Hodges is a 1-4. And Hodges hits this one to right at Gordon, though, and that'll be 1 out. Roy Campanella steps up. He's got 2 home runs, and through 23 at-bats this season, he is hitting an astonishing .609. So a solid start for Roy Campanella. He gets a 6-7. And an X chance for the second baseman, Hartsfield. And the 20 reads a 7, so just missed a clean single. And the 6-sided dice add up to 12, so we just missed an error. So nice play by Hartsfield, avoiding both the single and a possible error. So 2 away, and Pee Wee Reese comes up. Pitch on the way to Reese is a 2-8. Ball's hit to the left side. It finds eyes or grows eyes and gets through to the left side as Kerr made a diving effort but couldn't get there. And Billy Cox, getting his first start of the season, comes up hitting in the 8th spot. He's had several pinch hitting opportunities already this season in our replay. 1 double, and this is his first start. See what he can do with Reese standing on at first base. 4-7. And Cox goes down looking. So first start, he goes down looking in his first at-bat of the game, and the Dodgers go down with no runs, and after 2, still 0-0. Luis Olmo to face Preacher Row here in the top of the 3rd. And it is a 5-5 for Olmo. And that's a strikeout. So Preacher dealing so far here early on, as he will now face the shortstop, Buddy Kerr. 2-7. And Kerr hits this one right back at Reese, who slides to his left onto first for the second out. And now the pitcher, Max Surkont, comes to bat for the first time. And it is a 6-6 for Surkont. And he smokes one to right field for a single with 2 outs. So the pitcher helping his cause as Surkont gets a 2-out single. He stands on first. The lineup turns over. It's Hartsfield now, who struck out in his first at bat. And Hartsfield gets a 5-9. And he is down on strikes again. So Preacher works around the 2-out single by Surkont. And Boston scoreless after 3 as Preacher comes to bat now after picking up that strikeout of Hatfield. And it is a 4-6. And Preacher draws a walk, so both pitchers helping their causes as they've both reached base in their first at-bats. Fortunately for the Dodgers, Rowe gets on with nobody out, and that'll bring up Gene Hermansky, who flew out back in the first inning. So Hermansky, if you go back and take a look at the actual game, Hermansky had a pretty big day. He was 3 for 4 with a run scored. Here, just looking to keep the inning going as Rowe starts it off with a walk. The pitch to Hermansky is a 6-2. We've got a split chance on a 10. And Hermansky ropes it to right, base hit. Preacher could go to second, but he's not going to. Not with Furillo and Snyder coming up. So Rowe moves to second. Nice piece of hitting by Hermansky, giving them the opportunity to go first to third. Instead, we hold him up at second. Furillo comes up. So Dodgers threatening here in the bottom of the third as Furillo gets a 2-9. And a weak roller to the left side as Rowe moves to third. Elliott's only play is going to Hartsfield at second, so a fielder's choice for Furillo as Hermansky is forced out at second base. And now runners are on the corners with 1 out, and Duke Snyder up. Snyder still looking for that first long ball of the season, and now as good of time as anybody. 2-3 for Snyder. And Snyder skies this one. Looks like it's going to remain on the infield. It is a pop-up to second. And not a productive out as Rowe has to stay at third. So now it'll be left up to Jackie Robinson to see what Robinson can do with guys on the corners and 2 outs. Pitch on the way to Robinson is a 2-9. And Robinson fast up the middle. Kerr sliding to his left. Fields it. Throws on to first. And the inning is over. Dodgers threaten. They do not scratch across any runs. And after 3, Boston's stat line goes no runs, 1 hit, no errors. Brooklyn, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. As we start off the top of the 4th, it'll be Sam Jethro for the Braves. And the Preacher remains on for the Dodgers. As Jethro gets a 1-2. He's going to try to bunt. Campy throws to first. Jethro, he beat out. So a leadoff bunt for Sam Jethro. And let's take a look at his card. He's an asterisk, so we are going to hold him at first. And it'll be Torgeson. And it is a 2-5 for Torgeson. And that's smoked to right. Base hit for Torgeson. Jethro going to stay at second. And now the Braves are threatening. So just a half inning ago, the Dodgers had 2 guys on and nobody out. Couldn't do anything with it. Now the Braves have back-to-back singles. And it'll be Bob Elliott. Pitch on the way to Elliott is a 6-5. There's a split chance, and it is a 17. And Elliott hits this one high in the air. Extra bases. Jethro scores. Double for Elliott. Torgeson goes to third. And the Dodgers find themselves down on the scoreboard again. And the Braves are looking for more. as Sid Gordon steps up. Runners on at second and third. We're in the fourth. The infield's going to play in to try to cut off any potential runs at home. And Gordon is offering a 5-5 from Preacher O. And that's a big strikeout. Very big strikeout, because that leaves first base open. And Walker Cooper, who hit .313 in the actual 51 season, is going to be walked. Actually, let's take a look. Yeah, he's going to be walked intentionally to load the bases for Luis Olmo. Infield will remain in. Play is at home. And it's Olmo's turn. 2-11. Shot to the right side. Robinson fields it. They get the out at home because the infield was in, so it works to perfection. They get a ground ball, they go home, they cut down the runner at home, and now there's 2 outs. So the infield will move back, and Buddy Kerr, in a clutch situation, gains some points in the clutch, but he's still a 2-11 hitter. The pitch on the way is a 2-7. And Kerr to the right side. That's a single through the drawn-in infield. My apologies. I thought I moved them back. Or I thought they moved back on their own because I didn't see it down here. So the infield was drawn in, so I suppose I should set them back. So that hurts. As had Robinson been back, that would have been a routine 4-3 putout. And instead, it's now 3-0. And the pitch on the way to Surkont is a 1-8. And there's a strikeout. So the Braves get 3 runs in the fourth. The Dodgers have their work cut out for them again, as they just are having a hard time getting on top of their opponents. So Hodges will lead things off 6-9. Hodges skies this one to center. Jethro there, 1 away here in the fourth. Campanella, 1-9. Campanella strikes out. And now Pee Wee, 1-9. On a split, it's an 18. And that ball shot to left for a clean single, but there are 2 outs. And Billy Cox, the 8th hitter, comes to bat. Pitch on the way. It is a 4-4. And Jethro out in center. X chance. 12 on the 20 and a 12 on the 6-sided dice, and that's going to end the inning as Jethro going to run to his right. I'm sorry, his left. Field it, and that will end the inning. So after 4, Boston Braves 3, Brooklyn Dodgers nothing, as Roy Hartsfield will lead things off to start out the top of the 5th. 5-10. And X chance. 20 on the X, 7 on the air. So Cox will make an error at third. And just like that, Boston's in business. As Hartsfield is on at first, Jethro, 2-5. And a strikeout, big strikeout after the error. Preacher trying to pick up his defense a little bit. 1 out, Hartsfield stands at first. Torgeson up, 1-7. He walks him. So they follow the strikeout out with a walk. And it'll be Bob Elliott with guys on at first and second. 2-11. Foul out to third, so big second out. And now they're 1 out away from getting out of it with no damage as Sid Gordon steps to the plate. Clutch situation. And it is a 2-11. And it is a 2 on the 20. And that ball hit right back up the middle. Just a single, though, fortunately for the Dodgers. But the bases are loaded for Walker Cooper. He loses several points in the clutch, but it doesn't change the fact that he's a good hitter. Fortunately for the Dodgers, up to this point, 19 at-bats, he's only hit 105. Pitch on the way to Cooper is a 2-8. And Cooper hits that one high in the air. Looks like Reese trying to get underneath it. And he does. Big pop out to end the inning. No damage done. Although the Braves did load the bases there in the fifth, they get nothing. And the Dodgers still just 3 runs behind as Rowe will lead things off in the bottom half of inning number 5. 5-9. And a 4 on the split. And Rowe smokes this one back up the middle. So Preacher Rowe doing it with the stick today as he's drawn a walk. And now he's picked up a single as Hermansky will attempt to follow and try to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th. 5-5. Hermansky popped him up to second, so 1 away. Furillo with Preacher Rowe on at first base. It is a 4-7. And Furillo goes down on strikes looking. And the Duke Snyder. Bottom of the 5th, 2 outs. Preacher Rowe with a single, leadoff single on first. He's been stuck there. And it is a 1-9 for Snyder. On a 2. Snyder puts a drive into that one. Deep right center, double. Rowe gets held at third. So second and third now with 2 outs. Can Jackie Robinson come through? It is a 2-6 for Robinson. And a weak ground ball to third. Elliott up with it on to first. And the inning is over. So again, the Dodgers threaten in the 5th, and they fall short of scratching across any runs. So after 5, Boston 3, Brooklyn nothing. As Luis Olmo to hit. It is a 1-5. And a 13 on the 20. And Olmo to the left side. Clean single. Leadoff single for Olmo. He's not going anywhere. Kerr comes up. Maybe a bunting situation. Not yet. And a 2-7. 2-7 for Kerr. This ball hit to the left side. Shortstop Reese to Robinson to Hodges. Big double play to take away the leadoff single, as the pitcher Max Surkont will come up with 2 outs now. It is a 6-7 on 1 on 20. As Surkont hits this one back up the middle, he'll take a single. And they'll turn the lineup over as Roy Hartsfield with Surkont on at first and 2 outs. 2-11. This ball hit to the right side, right at Hodges. He'll walk it over to first, step on the bag, and after 5.5, the Braves lead it 3-0. Hodges, Campanella, and Reese due up for the Dodgers. And the offering to Hodges is a 2-7. And a 5 on the 20. And Hodges with a drive to left field, going back, track, wall, goodbye, home run. Gil Hodges, his 4th homer of the season, gets the Dodgers on the board, 3-1. As the Dodgers trying to claw closer to that deficit that the Braves have put them in. As Roy Campanella will follow, 3-1 now after Hodges' home run. 6-10. And Campy, weak ground ball, third base. Elliott Fields, easy throw on to first. 1 away. It's Pee Wee Reese now with 1 out in the 6th. 1-7. And Reese hits one back up the middle. Jethro, though, going to run in shallow center and bring that one in. 2 away. Billy Cox, he's struck out, flew out today. He's also committed an error at third. Perhaps an opportunity to make up for it here. 1-6. Cox, ground ball right back at the pitcher, who runs it over to first, underhand toss, and Cox is retired, and so are the Dodgers, but they get 1 back off the bat of Gil Hodges, who hits his 4th homer of the season. And after 6, it's Boston 3, Brooklyn 1. Sam Jethro to lead things off here in the top of the 7th. It is a 2-8. And a big strikeout to start out the 7th for Preacher. As aside from the 4th inning, Preacher has had a pretty good game so far. 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 walks, but 8 strikeouts. 1 out in the 7th. It is a 4-12. X chance says 13. I'm sorry, split chance says 13. Torgeson, deep fly ball, center field, could be 4-1, and it is. Earl Torgeson's 3rd homer of the year increases Boston's lead back to 3, as they now lead it 4-1. Bob Elliott into the box. 110 for Elliott. Shot back at the pitcher. Nice play by the Preacher, who falls off the mound. Fields it. Tosses over to Hodges for the 2nd out. Sid Gordon with 2 away. 5-5. Gordon strikes out. That's the 9th strikeout for the Preacher today. And while we are into the 7th, the Preacher's done a pretty good job. The damage is just right at that threshold. And we're going to go to our bench here. And with a righty up, we're going to go with Thompson to pinch hit. So Don Thompson will come in to pinch hit. Through 12 at-bats, he's hitting .083. The pitch on the way. It is a 6-4. Kerr at short. The next chance. On an 8. And a 12. Just missed the air. Kerr going to make the play at short. Thompson's going to be retired. One out in the 7th as Gene Hermansky steps up. It is a 1-3 for Hermansky. And Hermansky gets hit, so he'll take his base down to first. That gets Furillo up with a runner on, as Hermansky shakes things off as he stands on at first base. Furillo 0 for 3 today. It's a 6-8. On a 17 for the split. Furillo flies one to center, but it's caught. That's 2 outs. Duke Snider, decent day, 2 for 3 with a double, single. He popped out in the 3rd. Pitch on the way, 2-5 for Snider. And a ground ball to Torgeson. And that's going to end the inning. Dodgers cannot capitalize with the hit by pitch. And after 7, it is Boston 4, Brooklyn 1. And we are going to bring in Ralph Branca to pitch. So Branca will come on in the 8th to try to hold things here. And he'll face Walker Cooper first. It is a 5-5. 13 on the 20-sided dice. And that ball is smoked to left. Going, caught. I thought it was given a ride, and I thought it was surely 5-1. But instead, Hermansky flags it down, and he makes the play. So 1 away as Olmo steps up. It is a 4-6 for Olmo. As Branca's offering, looked at, no thank you, strike 3. So 2 outs, and Buddy Kerr will step up. 4-9. And it's a 15 on the 20-side dice. And Kerr, line drive right at Reese, who snares it down. That's 3 outs. After 7.5, Boston still leads at 4-1, as Jackie Robinson will attempt a Brooklyn comeback here in the 8th. As he leads off, it's a 2-7 for Robinson. Skies to center. Jethro there. And 1 away. Hodges up. It is a 6-9. 6-9. And Hodges skies this one to center. Jethro right underneath it, and 2 outs. It'll be Campanella now. 2-5. 14 on the split chance. And Campanella skies this one to center. Does it get over his head? It does. It's a double for Campanella with 2 outs. And that'll give Pee Wee Reese a chance to cut into this lead. 5-2. And a 5 on the split chance. And Reese swings. This one's down the line. Does it have enough? It does. A home run for Pee Wee Reese with 2 outs. And that makes it a 1-run game. as Pee Wee Reese's first home run of the season makes it Boston 4, Brooklyn 3. And Billy Cox will try to keep the inning alive. 2-5. And Cox swings, hits it to the left of the shortstop. Curra's there. Fields throws on to first. Inning over. Side retired. But Pee Wee Reese gets 2 back as he hits a long home run to left field. And now headed to the ninth, it's Boston 4, Brooklyn 3. And we'll see what the Braves manager does. He's going to let Surkont hit away as he is 2 for 3 with 2 singles today. And it is a 5-8 as Bronca will also stay in the game. And Surkont back up the middle. Reese ranges to his left. 1 out in the ninth. Roy Hartsfield, 5-3. On the 20, it's a 16. And Hartsfield, long fly ball to left, going, gone. And Roy Hartsfield with a home run makes it Boston 5, Brooklyn 3. Just cannot catch a break early in the season, can the Dodgers. As Jethro now steps up, a huge dagger by Hartsfield, making it 5-3. As we get a 3-5. Jethro swings, and that's back up the middle for a single. Jethro on, he will have to be held. And Torgeson, who has had a knack for finding ways to hit runners in important times of the game. He'll come up. It is a 5-2. And Torgeson, fly ball to the left. Hermansky's there, though. He got good wood on it, but it didn't leave the park. So 2 outs. And that home run for Hartsfield looming large as Bob Elliott steps up. Jethro stands on at first. It's a 2-4. And it's a wild pitch. So wild pitch, and now we'll go 2-4. And Elliott swings. This one goes to right at Furillo. So we'll go to the ninth. Boston 5. Huge home run for Hartsfield. And the Dodger faithful trying to will their squad to a comeback victory. As Bronca is set to lead things off, he will not hit. Instead, it will be Abrams. Cal Abrams will come in to pinch hit to start off the ninth, and it is a 2-5 for Abrams on a 14. And that ball's through, so Abrams comes in, pinch hit, single, as Hermansky now up, and we will let Hermansky hit. So Hermansky up, runner on at first, pitch on the way, 6-10. And Hermansky, a drive to left, Olmo there though, and 1 away. As Carl Furillo, who is 0 for 4, will step into the box. Abrams still at first after the pinch hit lead off single, and Furillo gets a 2-10. Furillo shot to left. It is through. They're going to hold all runners, and Surkont tired probably just threw to his last batter as the Duke steps up. They're going to let Surkont go to face Snyder. Interesting decision here. As I said, the computer managers have all been set up for all of these squads. If you missed it earlier, they made a sub headed into the bottom of the ninth as Sisti was inserted to play second base for Hartsfield. So Surkont stays on to face Snyder. And it is a 3-3 to Snyder. And the Duke, hard ball to second, 4-6-3. That's going to end the ball game. As the Dodgers fail to scratch across any runs, and the Boston Braves take the second of 3 in Ebbets Field by a final score of 5-3. Again, Boston goes 5 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Brooklyn goes 3 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. As we take a look at the box score here, the Dodgers have dropped 4 straight now to start out the season, as their record falls to 2-5. Preacher Rowe saddled with the loss, and just not a good time right now in Brooklyn, as they really going to have to figure out a way to salvage the rest of this series and turn things around. So long, everybody.